younger brothers, lost unseen, laughing at the edge where the madness roars, breaking the silence, pounding through locked doors. Dress it up, they don't sugar the core. Two battle-worn souls bringing thunder to the floor. Unfiltered fires spin what they've seen. The unapologetic podcast, raw and obscene. Raw and obscene. Raw and obscene.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to our weekly edition of the Unapologetic Veterans Podcast. I am your host, the Unapologetic Veteran.
And I am Stalls, the other guy.
Still the other guy,
Still the other guy. It fits.
Come on, man. It does fit, but, you know, I don't know if you have the I'm trying to think how to say this. I don't want to say the right, but you don't have the... You can't call yourself the other guy unless you've done a desk pop, and I don't think you've done a desk pop.
I've never done a desk pop. I'm gonna have to do a desk pop.
You're gonna have to do a desk pop. We're gonna have to break that cherry.
Yes,
So, man,
sir.
you had a very busy weekend. Why don't you tell everybody about it?
Man. All right. So, for those of you guys who aren't tuned in to us every week, and this is your first time watching or listening, I am a member of the U.S. Military Veterans Motorcycle Club, and we had our national presidents meeting in Nashville. It was an awesome experience. Like, truly had 1,000, if not more, of my brothers in one location at a time. Yeah, I mean, it's Nashville, right? So to break it down for you, I was inebriated for 72 hours straight.
Wow.
The first night we got there, we left Florida on Wednesday. We got up there around noon on Thursday. And Thursday night, I'm just hanging out at the host hotel with a bunch of my brothers drinking. And I take an Uber back to my hotel after we get back from going downtown. And I fell into the Uber. And then when the Uber got me to my hotel, he had to help me out of said Uber so that I could get upstairs to my hotel room. So,
please tell me
needless
you
to
tipped
say,
him.
oh yes, absolutely, $10 tip, 5-star rating. But yeah, no, man, it was a lot of fun, dude. I mean, honestly, my family went with me, so I had my daughter and my mother-in-law, my wife. So it was honestly a great time. Like, Country Music Hall of Fame was fun. Walking around downtown was fun. Going to some different restaurants and going to different bars. I mean, it was just an awesome experience, dude. If you've never been to Nashville, go. A lot of history there. A lot of booze there.
There's an entire street of booze.
An entire street of booze and restaurants. But yeah, dude, I mean, it was a lot of fun. A lot of freaking fun. And I was still recovering. So we got back on Sunday night. We woke up Sunday morning, drove all the way through. And got back Sunday night, and I'm going to tell you, I was still recovering from Nashville on Tuesday.
It'll do that to you, I promise.
So it was a bunch of fun.
So what is the most Nashville thing that you did while you were here?
Honestly, the most Nashville thing I did was the Country Music Hall of Fame. I mean, I think everybody equates Nashville to like the epicenter of country music. It was awesome. I mean, just taking yourself through the entire history of country music. and realizing that there are some people who are in the Hall of Fame who weren't even necessarily known for country music. I mean, you got Elvis in there. I mean, everyone knows Elvis is the king of rock, but his home was Tennessee.
Memphis.
So Memphis. Music is the epicenter of Nashville. I mean, Nashville is the epicenter of the music industry. Everybody knows this. So whether you're a rock artist or a country artist or whatever, music is Nashville, and Nashville
Absolutely.
is so. But yeah, I think that's the most Nashville thing I did. I mean, I went to the bars, you know. I went to Tootsie's. Everybody says you got to go to Tootsie's. I went to Tootsie's.
The most Nashville thing you did right there.
I went to Tootsie's, but honestly, Tootsie's is fun. But Tootsie's, you go to the third floor of Tootsie's for Tootsie's because that's where the largest stage is. It's where the best band is playing. We went to Jelly Rolls. You know, I went to the restaurant, or not the restaurant, but the bar that Morgan Wallen threw a chair off of.
Did you throw the chair?
No, I didn't throw a chair.
Damn. Okay.
So it is what it is. Next time, maybe.
Next time for sure.
But yeah, dude. I mean, telling you, Nashville was fun. It was just a great time, great brotherhood. You know, being able to hang out in a city that I'm not from with the guys in my club was just freaking phenomenal.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. I'm glad you had a great time. Yeah, Nashville's fun. Unless you live here, then you don't ever go to Nashville unless it's for work. Case in point, I don't ever go to Nashville unless I have to. I do go like occasionally if I take the wife out to dinner to one of the steakhouses, but outside of that, I don't go to Broadway. I don't touch Broadway. I don't even think about thinking about going to Broadway. Nope, out of the question. You know, there was a study done. I can't remember where I see it. It may have been Facebook or it could have been TikTok. I don't remember which, but they say between 70 and 80% of people that you see and or meet on Broadway that aren't working aren't from Tennessee at all. Not just Nashville, but from Tennessee, period. So that tells you something. That's a lot of fucking people that come through the Music City. I mean,
yeah,
it is beautiful.
Ironically enough, I met people from like all walks of life. I mean, people from England. I can't tell you how many different like Asian nationalities were in there. Like you had people speaking Chinese, you had people speaking Japanese, you had people speaking Korean. Yeah, so I mean, it was honestly, it was a cultural hub as well. But you had people who didn't even speak English going through the Country Music Hall of Fame. I mean, that's just how famous some of these people are.
No, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of outside of just the bars and the nightlife, if you will. There's a lot of stuff to do in Nashville. Not even just Nashville, but in and around Nashville. I mean, you guys went to Opry Mills. It's Opry Mills. It's an experience.
You can go to the Opry. Like some of the brothers from my chapter went to the Opry on Friday night. But the Opry it's not like a normal concert. Mm-hmm. Like normal concerts, you woo and you cheer. At the Opry, it's more civilized. You sit there and you listen, and then at the end of the performance, you're allowed to woo and cheer. Like it's different. It's a different experience.
Yeah, I mean the Opry is not what you think of when you say I'm going to see somebody. It's a very formal setting. It's really cool, but it is something that if you ever come to Nashville, check out the Opry. But just know that it's not like going to the Bridgestone or Nissan Stadium and seeing, like Metallica or somebody. It's completely different. It's an experience, but it's fun.
Yeah. And I got to see the new stadium they're building for the Titans, the construction on it.
They're moving quick on that.
Yeah, it's going to be massive.
Yeah.
It's going to be a massive stadium, but it's going to be right next to where the old stadium was. So they're going to implode the old stadium and use it for parking.
Yeah, basically that's the thought, is to tear the old one down. And I I don't know. See, I've heard that. I've heard they're going to tear it down and put a baseball field there because Tennessee's trying to get an MLB team. I've heard rumors that Memphis Grizzlies are going to move to Nashville. I've heard Nashville might get a WNBA team. Like, no,
So the
nobody really knows.
let's talk about the WNBA for a second. So
Oh Lord.
did you know that since Caitlin Clark joined the Indiana Fever, that they have sold out every home game
I did
since
know
she
that.
started?
Did you
Every
know
home game.
that Caitlin Clark is a better basketball player than Angel Reese? Prove me
Yes, I
wrong.
did know that. I did know that. There's no way to prove you wrong on that. I mean, right now, Angel Reese is actually being investigated for stat padding.
Yeah, I seen that article. It was ESPN that had that, where
Yeah.
she's like 1 for 5, so she gets 4 rebounds. Yeah, I seen that. Man, so I've got some stuff that I want to kind of go over. I've wrote down some notes here. As
That's great
most
because
of
I
you,
have 0 notes.
at least one of us is doing our job right. No, so the title of this episode is "What is Your Fire?" And so this is going to be part 1 of a 2-part episode. Spoiler alert: there's going to be an episode next week, where we're going to have a special guest who, in our opinion, ties directly into what we're going to cover part of this week, and then hopefully dive headfirst into it next week. So again, what is your fire? So I've been watching some videos and listening to people talk, and in one of the common issues, problems, whatever acronym you want to throw in there, is when you leave the military and you cross through that gate with your wonderful D-214 in hand, whether it be you're on free will, you're getting kicked out, you're retiring, whatever the case may be. The second that you cross that gate, for some of us, it's not so much immediate. It could be 6 months, it could be a year, it could be 5 years, hell, it could be 20 years. But we hit a point where we lose our purpose. We lose our fire, right? We lose that flame inside of us that, for most of us, when we were 17, 18 years old, we signed on the dotted line and said, let's do this. And for however long you served, you had a purpose. Every day you woke up, you knew exactly what you had to do to get through the day to complete the mission. Now, the mission may have changed, but for a lot of us, we get out and we lose that purpose, right? And like for me, when I got out of the military, I had a job. I had a purpose at that point. But then I realized that I hate civilians and politics. And so I quit that job and moved here to Tennessee full time. And I lost what my purpose was, what it was that I was doing. I lost my drive. I've since found that this podcast being part of it and the mission behind what we're trying to achieve with this podcast. My family, my business, all of that is giving me that purpose back. But for a lot of us, we hit rock bottom before we find that purpose, or we find somebody slaps you on the back, says, hey, bro, get up. Let's go. Come on. I got you. Like, and forces you to find that purpose, right? I mean, it's more in depth than that, and I'm hoping that we can dive into that. But like, for a lot of us, we struggle, right? There's no tempo to our daily life anymore. There's no purpose. Some of us are just kind of going through the motions, like they go to a job that they hate. They come home and they drink, or they're just depressed and upset all the time. And it's like, yeah, PTSD is a real thing, but some of that is also the purpose behind it, right? If you put those same people back in the military, if they were physically able to serve again, they would probably change a little bit, hopefully a lot more, because they have that purpose again. They know exactly what their mission is. And one of the things I want to do is help people find their mission, find their fire again, like give them purpose to get back up and say, this is what I'm going to do. So like we've talked about your story a little bit, but what is your purpose? Like what is your fire? What keeps you burning, keeps you going and looking forward to the next day and the day after that and the week after that and the month after that, and keeps you driven to continue on?
Yeah, so I guess for me it would be more, I was that person. I got out, I lost my purpose. I didn't really know what I was going to do with my life. I went to school, then I had purpose temporarily. That's temporary purpose, right? Anything that ends with some type of graduation or certificate is temporary purpose. Now, whether you use that certificate or that degree or whatever, to fuel your purpose, now that's another story. But for me, I lost that sense of purpose, because what I got my degree in, it wasn't really what I wanted to do.
Underwater basket weaving.
Exactly. But so for me, it took me a while. It took me a while to find my purpose. It took me a while to find my fire. And honestly, for me, I keep myself busy for a reason, because I believe in the saying idle hands, right?
Mm-hmm.
If my hands are idle, I tend to get myself in trouble. So for me, my purpose, my fire is my MC. I dedicate a lot of time to that, because it's not just a hobby for me. Riding motorcycles is not a hobby, it's a lifestyle. Being part of an MC is a lifestyle. But the nonprofit that I started, my nonprofit was because I was tired of seeing my buddies, guys I served with, take their life because of this very reason. They lost their sense of purpose. They're struggling with mental health issues, and they're struggling with alcoholism and drug abuse, and just struggling to wake up and find meaning in their life for everyday living. So I started my nonprofit organization. And so for me, it's helping those who are going through the same things I was going through the day-to-day drudge through life that is just monotonous and boring. And because face it, when we're overseas and we're deployed, we're in the military, dude, you're on the go.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing something. You're being told to be somewhere at some time in a certain uniform. You don't have to think. A lot of the thinking is done for you. So it's one of those things where you get out and now you're having to think like an individual.
Mm-hmm.
You're trained your entire life not to think that way. You're trained your entire life, for some of us, because some of us joined at 17, 18 years old. You're trained to let someone else tell you where to be, when to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Not until you become an upper, what is it? An NCO that actually has, some kind of actual title.
Yeah, so, like a staff NCO or a senior NCO.
Become a senior NCO or a staff NCO. That's when you start making decisions for other people. But still, those decisions that you make for other people are because someone above you, a company grade officer or field grade officer said, hey, this is what you guys are going to do. So it comes to the point where you're having to think for yourself. And that's what's hard for a lot of people. It's hard for a lot of people to go, this is what I have to do. And I have to self-motivate. It's hard to self-motivate. There are days when I wake up and I have to force myself to be motivated to go to work. Because I'm not saying I hate my job or anything. It's just...
it's not what you want to do with your life.
My job is not my fire, right?
Yeah.
My MC, my nonprofit, this podcast, like these are things that light my fire. But in order to do those things that I enjoy, I have to have a paycheck.
Yeah, it's a necessary means almost.
Right.
And I don't, and I do want to continue, but for those in our chat that don't know, can you briefly touch on what your nonprofit is and kind of go over just the wave tops?
Yeah, so I started Veteran Bikers for 22 a day. Okay, it's a 501c, and what we do is we are setting up a ride in 2026. It's going to be a 2,267 mile plus ride. It's going to go through 7 states in 6 days, and we're going to stop in every stop that we make. So Greenville, Louisville, South Haven, Mobile, Atlanta, Valdosta, Savannah, wherever it ends up ending. We are bringing veterans from those communities to organizations inside their communities. So these grassroots organizations, like, let's just throw a name out there. Like, for the ones who live in Alabama, you have Transcend 214, which is, run by Shamika, and it's a grassroots organization. Yeah. It's not your Wounded Warrior, it's not your Purple Heart Foundation, it's not your Tunnels for Towers, it's not all of these big name organizations that have thousands of dollars in funding for advertisements and to push their name out there. It's these grassroots, homegrown organizations, and we're going to bring these organizations to these events, like the bike nights in Greenville and Louisville, the town talk, or town hall meeting in Mobile, the Sunday afternoon town hall in South Haven, and then in Atlanta to the homeless shelter for veterans in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to bring these organizations out so the veterans in these communities can meet these people. So if Johnny Bravo in Greenville is having an issue and he knows that he needs help with his mental health, he's going through a crisis, and he knows that he doesn't want to dial 988, he doesn't want to call the Veterans Crisis Line, he doesn't want to reach out to the VA and talk to somebody. He wants an actual person who's going to respond, knows that he can call so-and-so organization in his hometown and reach out and have that access. Or you have a veteran who's disabled and needs a ramp built on a house that he just bought, and he doesn't have, know of an organization that can do it, or B, is recently just disabled or because of old age or whatever, and needs that stuff built. He knows what organization to reach out to, or a family member of that veteran knows that organization. So that's really what it's about. We're also raising money. All the money that we raise is going to be for families who have unfortunately lost a family member to veteran suicide, to help bridge the gap financially, help pay for funeral costs, help pay for whatever might come up, right? Because most of the times the veteran is the breadwinner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say all the time, but most of the times the veteran's the breadwinner. So there's a vacuum effect when that veteran is no longer there, that guess what? These bill collectors aren't going to care that,
good old bill collectors.
Right. John Doe veteran just offed himself. They're not going to care about that. What they care about is that they get the bill paid.
Mm-hmm.
The bill gets paid on time, and they don't have to call and try to, put you through collections. So we want to be able to financially assist those families. So that's it in a nutshell. I mean, it's nothing. There's a whole lot more to it. We'll have a separate episode on all of that. But I mean,
we will.
That's my fire. I mean, you see how fired up I get about this and how knowledgeable I am. Like, that's what excites me.
Oh, absolutely.
Getting up and going to work my 9 to 5 or my 8 to 5. All right. No, do I get fired up about it? No. Do I love what I do? Do I enjoy it? Yeah, absolutely. I enjoy it, but it doesn't light my fire. And that's the thing. A lot of veterans go to a job that they like. They don't love it. They like it, but it doesn't light their fire, man. You got to find that thing that lights your fire. That is the most important thing to mental health. especially if you're recovering from a crisis. Find something that keeps you motivated in your day to day. Find something that you wake up and you go, damn, I can't freaking wait to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's less likely of a chance for you to be disappointed.
Yeah.
And you wake up excited about something. If it doesn't turn out like you wanted it to, adjust. That's the
Yeah.
one thing we learned in the military: adapt and overcome. Figure it the fuck out.
Pivot, change, make a
Yeah.
change.
Make a change. Make a change that you want to see. And that's my biggest thing. So like, I want to leave this world better than the way I came into it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't grow up rich. I grew up in a poor family. And I grew up, I have money insecurities. I have financial insecurities because of the way I grew up. My parents weren't always able to provide everything I ever wanted, but they provided the things that I needed. But, I still look forward to what I do. I still look forward to waking up in the morning. And that's what
Yeah.
people need. That's what you need to find. If you don't have that purpose, find it. Find it now. Google purpose.
Well,
I mean,
so
it's not that simple, but Google a purpose.
I went ahead and ChatGPT purpose, right? So let's see, where did it go?
Freaking AI, man.
Oh yeah, gotta love ChatGPT, right? So I asked ChatGPT, I said, "What is your fire?" And and he immediately said, "What drives you? What gives your life meaning today?" But for some people, today is all that it takes, because today turns into tomorrow, which turns into the next day, and then next thing you know, here you are, right? That's how we make changes. And in starting to dig into some of this stuff, like one of the things is, okay, so you're a young private PFC. I don't want to say you're struggling, because a lot of us, maybe not a lot of us, but most of us were excited, young, dumb private, like, because you graduate basic, boot camp, you graduate MCT, AIT, MOS training, whatever, right? And it's like, what can I do now, right? So you've got all these people saying, oh, well, if you hit sergeant, you can go here. If you make this rank, you can go do this. And it's like, and if it's something that you're really like, I want to do that, you've got a purpose. You figure out how to get from point A to point B. But like when you get out, there's no rules. There's no, you can't go to Barnes and Noble and pick up a book and it tells you, all right, I got out of the military, this is what I need to do. There's no guidebook. There's no.
It's like
form.
Parenting. It's like parenting.
Yeah,
you got to figure it out.
Kind of. Yeah, I mean, you have to take it day by day, but for a lot of people, that's what they need. They need something to push people in the opposite or in a different direction. A lot of us, we leave our hometowns for whatever reason. Most of us, because our hometowns are not what the environment that we need to be in. Some of us just leave because that it's not that bad, but they just left. But like, you go back to your hometown, you fall back into that environment that you were when you were 16, 17-year-old kid, where if you got a little bit of trouble, it's not that big a deal. Where now it's like, all right, buddy, we got you. And then they don't know how to get out of that. They get stuck in this rhythm, and they don't know how to proceed. What does that say? Are you saying post-service, get to the point of being numb just to go through the motions? No, absolutely not. That's what we're trying to avoid people doing, is getting to the point where they feel numb and they lose everything. Because for a lot of people, that's that's when bad things happen. You know, you get to the point of being numb, and it's like, why am I here? I have no will, no desire anymore. And it's like, okay, we want to avoid all of that, right? Like for me, when I got out of the military, I was working for the federal government. It was pretty cool. I got to say I worked for a 3-letter agency. But I realized very quickly that politics and the civilians who just have a college education and no real world experience and I don't mix. So I got out and I moved here to Tennessee. And the first job I took was working for a gun manufacturer, and I absolutely fucking hated it with a burning passion, you know. And then I got into what I do now, which, you know, like you said, I enjoy it. I like what I do, but it's not what I'm here for anymore. You know, I'm here for something greater, which in this case is this podcast. It's my business. It's his nonprofit, which I happen to be on the board of. Like, it's something greater than just me. Like, let's help people. You know, let's get out there and talk with people, because another downside of this is there's a lot of organizations that don't truly care about people. They're just in it for the notoriety and the money. That's for a later episode, but you know, it happens, right? Like, personally, I think when you get out of the military, just like for Marine Corps boot camp, it's 13 weeks. When you get out of the military, I think it needs to be longer than a week or 2 weeks, whatever it is now. It needs to be like a month and a half, like teaching people how to do their taxes.
So it's kind of funny. You remember, at least I don't know how it was in the Marine Corps, but I know in the Army. So you had, when you come back from a deployment, your family readiness group kind of puts your family through this reintegration class, right? Or the wives are go to this reintegration or post deployment status class or whatever it's called, and they're told how the veteran or how the service member may act when they come home, and how to circumvent certain conflicts that may come up. And they do the same thing for the service member coming home. When you're in Kuwait, you go through those freaking PowerPoints like, you've been gone for 13 months. Your wife or significant other has been taking care of the household. There may be a power struggle. Like, that is great and all, but where is that class, or where is that program for service members when they disconnect from the service?
So I know when I came back from my deployment, there was none of that. I literally...
Marine Corps is different. I mean, I guess.
Well, I can't speak for all of the Marine Corps and whatnot. You know, what I did for the Marine Corps is a lot different than, you know, being an 0311 or 11 Bravo or, you know, something along those lines. But I didn't go through that. You know, got back to the airport. They took us from the airport to the base via bus. I got off the bus, got in a car, and went home.
Right.
In the middle of the night, you know, and then 2 weeks later, I was back at work. You know, but like, I just feel like there's more that we can do to help people find our purpose, because a lot of us have a lot of skills and the ability to lead, you know, be great leaders, great managers. Some of us are super fucking creative with art and music and stuff. And there's a lot of people that they get back and they don't know what to do. You know, they don't know whether to go to school, because like in my case, when I got out, I'd be 10 years older than most of the kids in my class. And it's like, I don't fit in because I'm much older than them, you know? So it's like I go to school, but I don't fit in. So it's like, okay, now I'm just going to school and being alone all day,
right,
which is never good when you're in your own thoughts, you know? And then it's like, I could get a job, which obviously you kind of have to have a job to get money to live your life. But it's like, Well, what do I do? Because what I did in the Marine Corps, yeah, it transitions over to the civilian world, but a lot of those jobs are working for the federal government in three places: Washington, D.C., St. Louis, Missouri, and Colorado, Colorado Springs, Colorado, I think is where the third one is. Three places that I don't really care to live. I did the St. Louis thing when I got out, but I would never want to live there again. I'd go visit. I mean, St. Louis is a great city to visit, but I don't want to live there. So then
Right.
I come back to Tennessee, and there's positions, but it's the type of position when you get into the only way you're getting that position from somebody is if they die, they retire, or they expand. It's a retirement position. It doesn't pay super crazy good, but it's guaranteed money, right? And it's super difficult to get into. No matter if I had 10 years of real world experience with military schools associated with it, right? So like it's like, okay, now I have to completely start over. And if you don't know where to start, which I didn't know a lot of the resources that I know of today. Places where you can, get out, go here, and they can help you find a job based off of what you did and your skill set to set you on the path to success, which is what we all want. It's tough, man.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're right. I mean, so there is a gentleman that I know, and his story is freaking amazing. I can't wait to have him on the podcast. But his name is Andrew Jameson. He is a recording artist. He finally inked a deal with a record label, but his story is a lot like mine and yours. We got out, didn't have purpose. So what happens? You drink, you party, you experiment, and then you crawl into this deep hole of addiction, and you got to crawl your way out of it. But his passion was music, and that music is what brought him out of it. And now he uses his passion, his fire. That's his purpose, to just get up every day and live. And you said you got to take it a day at a time, dude. You have to live for today. Because if you're not living for today and you're trying to live for the future, you're gonna fail. You have to live for today. Otherwise, you'll never make it to tomorrow.
The only day that's ever guaranteed is today. And even then, that's not 100% guaranteed.
Very true. Very, very true.
It's a mindset that I wish more people understood, right?
Yeah.
Like, live for today. Like, make today the best you can.
Yeah. And I'm not saying this is, I'm not saying finding your purpose is going to be, your key to pulling yourself out of some deep, dark hole. By all means, there's a lot of people who have the job of their life. They have the family, the 2.5 kids, house with a white picket fence. Like, they have the American dream. They have the job they want, but they're unhappy. And the problem is I guarantee if you look at those people, did they have a hobby that they enjoyed? Whether it's fishing or hunting or building model cars, collecting, Will
collected Pokemon cards.
Pokemon cards. All right. So, you have to find what drives you, because just because you love your job and you love your family and you love your American dream life, like, that doesn't guarantee you happiness. Because there's a difference, and I believe this wholeheartedly. There's a difference between happiness and joy. And if you have one, that's great. But in order to succeed in life, you have to have both. And joy is not something that comes easy. It's like patience. Patience is a virtue. Well, guess what? Joy is a virtue as well. All right.
I'm still trying to find my patience.
Yeah. I'll never find my patience. I have zero patience for everything. But you've got to find your joy, find your purpose, find your fire. I mean, there's something out there that you can get into that will make you go, damn, dude, that was freaking awesome. I want to do more of that. And just do it. I mean, I got a buddy of mine and my best friend, Ellis Lowry. He's probably not listening, and that's fine because he's old and doesn't understand technology. But my bad, Ellis. But when he got out, music, man, music is his thing, and he does it home in our hometown. He does it. He is a hometown celebrity. Like, if he doesn't want to go anywhere else, but he's a hometown celebrity. He probably plays 6 nights a week.
Damn.
And he has his circle of venues that he plays at 6 nights a week. And he circles them and he goes. And I'm not going to lie to you, my sister from another mister hates it, man. She hates it. She's like, he's always playing a show. We can't ever go on vacation because he's always playing a show. Well, hey, that's that dude's joy, man. Don't take his joy away.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's preventing him from going into a deep dark hole. Because I've seen him without it. Yeah, he's a different person, man. I mean, music lights up his face. I mean, it's just like this podcast. Like, I was actually kind of bummed we didn't do a podcast last week. But I mean, with our schedules and how everything was working out, it just wasn't possible. But
again, full-time day job.
Full-time day job, exactly. We have to fuel our fire because we have to have money to do it.
Because I like running fucking marathons and shit.
Right, exactly. So, and your purpose, your joy, your fire, and whatever you want to call it, you are the only person who can figure it out. I can't figure it out for you. I can try to give you ideas. I can't sit still. Like, that's my biggest thing. Like, I have to be doing something. So I'm always on the go. And does it drive my wife crazy? She can't stand it. Right? Because I'm always doing something. I'm never home. But I come home.
There's that.
I'm here for tomorrow if tomorrow is given. So that's my only words of encouragement, man. Find your fire, find your purpose. And this doesn't even just go for veterans. I mean, this goes for everybody. Like, yeah, we're a veterans podcast, but fuck, man. Let your wife find her fire. Because then when she's doing the thing that she loves to do, she's not going to give 2 shits what you're doing. I promise you. You want to get your wife out of your ass? That's how you do it. Let her find her joy, her passion, her fire. There, I just gave marital advice.
Oh, Jesus. Don't sign us up for marriage counseling. We don't need to be doing that.
Hey, you guys can call Unapologetic and sign up for our marriage classes. They'll be beginning the end of August.
No, it will not. I promise you. Don't take advice from me.
Yeah, I've done it wrong twice. I'm on my 3rd, so.
Well, you've got me beat.
Yeah, well,
But hey, 3rd time's the charm, right? At least that's what they say.
I'm going to tell you right now, my wife is a saint. Okay, she is a saint. I definitely married way out of my league. My wife is hot. Okay. I'm not saying I'm hard to look at, but my wife is hot.
That white beard's kind of hard to look at.
I mean, is it though?
A little bit.
It's a perfect saddle.
No comment. Yeah, I mean, just getting out there and doing something is let me rephrase, getting out and doing something that you truly enjoy, right? Like, I just asked ChatGPT for something, and it said, "You've already endured more than most ever will. Give yourself permission to live, laugh, and love again."
Nice.
I
Sounds
mean,
like that should be on a fucking fortune cookie.
it probably is on a fortune cookie. That's probably where it came from, to be honest with you. I mean, it's just it's one of those things where, you know, we can only be there for each other and continue to move on and move forward. Like I said, I am super fucking excited for next week.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm sitting here thinking about making a video for it, but it's like, how long do we go before we tell people? But I will give a little spoiler. Let me open this. Not last weekend, the weekend before, went to Marine Corps base Quantico for a half marathon, and I picked this up.
Oh, nice. Nice.
And
I didn't
then
pick up anything that cool.
Here's
But
the back of it.
if you don't have a challenge coin that is shaped like a guitar
Like a
pick,
guitar pick.
then I don't even want you to look. I mean, look at that. All 5 branches or 6 branches.
Damn,
The
where'd you get
skyline
that?
of Nashville. So this was our coin for the for our national president's meeting.
Damn, did you get me one?
No, I did not.
You're an asshole.
Well, you know, it is what it is.
I got another one if I can open this damn thing.
Probably should have done that before the podcast. I mean, I'm just saying.
I didn't think about it until I started thinking about who our guest was and what his branch he served in. These are
Yeah.
So the first coin I showed you, that is the Marine Corps' 250th edition. You know, because Marine Corps is 250 years old this year. And this one I thought was pretty cool. I got this one at the memorial.
Oh no, that's pretty cool.
And it says 250 years of of the United States Marine Corps, and then on the back it says quarter millennium United States Marine Corps. But dude, these coins, they've got some serious fucking weight to it. Like,
oh yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
how you know it's a good coin.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because it's not like a traditional round coin. Because I have a few of these ones, but I always pick it up. It's the Uncommon Valor, Common Virtue coin.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just a regular coin, but this weighs probably half, at least, maybe a little bit less than half of the other two. I mean, it's wild.
Yeah.
And
those are some massive coins that you got.
They are massive. They're much bigger than... I've got some Australian and some British coins, and they're probably twice the size of those even.
Jeez.
I have a Marine Corps Forces Pacific Marine Corps ball coin that is a bottle opener, and it's still smaller.
Wow. But yeah, next week's guest, man. I mean,
do we tell the people?
Nah. I think we keep it a surprise, at least until next Wednesday night. We'll drop it Wednesday night.
No, I don't know. I do Wednesday. Wednesday's too late.
All right. How about Monday night, 8 p.m.? We will drop a video.
Yes.
On YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, on who will be on our podcast next week.
I've got a brilliant idea, people. You like to drop this video. Matter of fact, we will get this person to make a video announcing it.
I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, but if you want to talk about somebody who embodies finding their passion, finding their fire.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, he is the embodiment of it.
A walking motivator.
He is a walking motivator. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know that's a Marine Corps term, and I still haven't quite figured out why you want to be called a motivator, but hey, it is what it is.
Because we are motivating. We're motivated.
Yeah.
Monday night, unapologetically raw announcement.
That's right. It will be unapologetically raw for sure.
Absolutely. There may be some cuss words in there, 3.
Maybe 4.
I mean, we can make the whole thing, you know.
Straight cuss words?
Absolutely. I'm sure that we could, between us and ChatGPT, I'm sure we could absolutely figure that out.
Oh, absolutely. We could come up with a whole script.
Yes. But one announcement. So, hey, those of you that are subscribed to our YouTube channel, I think there's 112 of y'all. If y'all be so kind and go to our Instagram, which we are currently live on Instagram. So if you go to Instagram right now, we are live there as well. That is unapologetic_veterans_podcast. Please go follow, join us there. We'll be posting, I post content there. Obviously, I post content on YouTube because that's what this is airing on. We also have a Facebook page. I believe that one is just Unapologetic Veteran. Let me double check for everybody real quick.
What's that?
Yeah, so our Facebook is just Unapologetic Veteran, but Instagram is Unapologetic Veterans Podcast. If y'all could go follow, join us on this journey, that would be greatly appreciated. The more people we can reach, the more people we can touch, maybe we can get out there and help somebody who really needs help, whether it's just us up here bullshitting, sitting here arguing back and forth about who's got the better looking beard. Me, by the way, just saying, because
Possible.
with the hair, boom, you can't beat this.
It's not possible.
It's 100% possible.
Silver fox all the way.
I don't look like fucking Santa Claus all year round.
I don't have to look like Santa Claus, honestly. I mean, Santa Claus' beard is like down to here, okay, and mine is up to here. I mean,
all right.
Mine is softer than yours, I guarantee it.
Let's get. How many people think that he should dye his beard blonde?
Blonde would be terrible. Like, it would have to match my hair color.
Well, you always wear a hat, so.
Yeah, but I have a wife.
Okay, so. Fine. We'll make you ginger.
Oh no. No.
Come on. I think
only if I can say a certain word. That's the only way I'm going to be a ginger.
I mean, I can't okay that because I'm not a ginger. So. But if you find a ginger that gives you the approval, then we're fine.
Hey, there we go. We're good. No, I actually, back in the day when it first started going gray, like honestly, and I know we're back into our bullshit session now, but back in the day when it first started going gray, I would actually dye it, like my natural hair color.
How old were you when it started to go gray?
I was in my mid-20s.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I was in my mid-20s when my beard started to go gray. But it was just patchy. Like I had a patch right here in the center of my chin that would go gray, and then it started like coming down my wisdom areas. But yeah, no, I mean, honestly, you'd be surprised. There's a lot of chicks that dig dudes with gray beards.
Gray bush.
Yeah. There's a lot of chicks that dig it.
So that is wild to me that you started having a gray beard in your mid-20s. Now, granted, I didn't get out till I was 28. I couldn't grow a beard if I tried until literally the day after I got out. Like, I wouldn't shave.
Yeah, it's amazing how that happens, right? You get out and then your beard just goes, oh, I'm allowed to grow now.
So Tiny said that her mom just agreed with you on the beard.
There you go.
That's not saying much.
Facts. It's still facts, though. I mean, it is straight facts. You just have to give it up to the fact that gray beards are sexy. And it's okay. You'll be there one day.
I'm not worried about being there. I mean, I'll make it there, But until then, I'm going to embrace, what I've got.
A little bit of color. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. When my hair when I grow my hair out, this section right here that you can't see, but it comes down to about here, turns gray. But if I don't grow my hair out, it's actually this color. Now, granted, I keep it tapered, and then occasionally I'll have patches of red in my beard. It's an Irish thing, I'm guessing, but it. My wife just texted me and said, "I love your grayness." It's not helping. She's probably either in here or she's listening from the room over. But like, and then I'll. It's weird, dude. Like in the summer.
So you just lost this argument, right?
I don't care. Like I really
saying,
don't.
You lost the argument because your wife just confirmed that gray beards are sexy.
Well, I'll tell you what. Never mind. I'm not going to make that bet yet. But we will. No, because I'll dye my beard gray. I don't give a shit.
Hey, do it. I guarantee you that will be the best night of your life.
Probably.
Guarantee it. See, exactly.
It's the salt and pepper, man. See, I'm not a fan of the white though. The salt and pepper.
So honestly, it's not as white like how it looks on camera. It's not actually that white. It is darker in person than it is on camera. Like I don't know how that's possible, but it is.
I don't know either. I mean, if it makes you feel better, my face looks like super red, but it's just the light.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Makes me feel 100% better.
Well, hey, everybody can love your white beard. That's right. You'll just be Santa Claus every year until, I don't know, somebody else comes along with a all white beard.
Yeah. I tell you what. For the next episode, I will dye my beard.
What color? What are we doing?
My natural hair color.
Which is what?
It's like a dirty blonde. More dirty than blonde, but a dirty blonde.
This is going to be great. Can we live stream it?
Tell you what, we'll live stream it on TikTok.
Oh, God. Y'all heard it here first. Stalls is going to dye his beard live on TikTok.
There you go.
Well, y'all, this has been another fantastic episode.
It has.
I hope something that we said, even if it's just us fucking talking about gray beards, made you laugh, helped get you out of a dark place, and I appreciate each and every one of you that are either here on YouTube with us or Tiny, who's on Instagram by herself, I believe. I hope that y'all continue to support us along this journey. We've got some big things planned, big things coming up. I can't give everything away. Huh?
I said, yes, we do.
I can't give everything away, but I will say is next week is going to be absolutely amazing. There may be some tears of sadness and some tears of joy. I cannot confirm nor deny that yet. That's not true. I can 100% confirm that will happen. But nonetheless, I appreciate each and every one of you. And as always, stay unapologetic. The mission never ends.
Yep, guys, and like you said, stay tuned. If you're tuning in with us, tune in. You can tune in on Instagram, tune in on YouTube, like, share, comment, subscribe, and just remember that this podcast is brought to you by Homefront SitRep and Heroes Media Group. Everybody, stay unapologetic.
Us higher.